Sportowe emocje pod koszem zapewnia Anvil, sponsor strategiczny klubu.
Dzień dobry, witam bardzo serdecznie. Cóż, kilka dni temu spotykaliśmy się tutaj na live'ie z Kamilem Łączyńskim. W imieniu Kamila i swoim, w imieniu klubu dziękuję wszystkim za bardzo pozytywne komentarze, za bardzo pozytywne opinie. Wszystkie przeczytaliśmy, wszystkie sugestie też wzięliśmy sobie do serca. Wiemy, że było zbyt krótko, wiemy, że było zbyt mało pytań z czatu. Myślę, że poprawimy to w przyszłości. Też widzieliśmy sami troszeczkę niedopatrzeń technicznych. Myślę, że postaramy się poprawiać z każdym kolejnym odcinkiem. Od razu powiem, wykorzystam ten moment. Dziękuję za sugestie bohaterów kolejnych odcinków. Wiele nazwisk pokrywa się także z moją, z naszą listą i goście będą się pojawiać. Z przyczyn takich czysto technicznych ciężko jest do odcinka na żywo wziąć, poprosić kogoś, kogo ojczystym językiem nie jest język polski. Wówczas to bardzo mocno wydłużyłoby takie nagranie, a moje tłumaczenie z kolei sprawiłoby, że byłoby mniej dynamiczne, więc testujemy AI, zobaczymy, czy jesteśmy w stanie tłumaczyć na bieżąco i co z tego wyniknie. A póki co z gośćmi, z koszykarzami, ale nie tylko z koszykarzami, mam nadzieję, obcojęzycznymi, będziemy spotykać się w takiej formie, tak jak kiedyś spotykaliśmy się realizując materiały z Fan Cornera. W związku z tym już dłużej nie muszę opowiadać. Moim gościem dzisiaj jest doskonale znany wszystkim kibicom Anvilu jak środkowy Nick Ongenda. Witam Nika serdecznie. Cześć.
Cześć.
Cześć. Bardzo dobrze, bardzo ładnie. Anything else in Polish at the beginning? Apart from cześć.
Dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry.
Yeah.
Jak się masz?
Shemash, yeah.
And a few bad words, probably.
Yeah, definitely the bad words, but I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, definitely. We start with linguistic aspects. So the funny thing is at the beginning that your mother tongue isn't English, as well mine. So French?
Yeah, French. Yeah.
You speak French? You think French?
In and out, mostly. It's like when my parents are talking to me, it's straight French in my head. Like my sister, same thing. Well, they speak English, but like sometimes whenever they try out too, it's just straight French. But then it kind of switches on who I'm talking to, because I kind of need to talk on the fly, especially when I've been to so many places. It's like so many different players, so many different ways of people talking. It kind of just switches to English, and then it switches to how they talk in English. So my brain is all over the place when it comes to thinking.
Generally, when you meet all of with your family, what language do you use?
It's French in my head. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any, I don't know how to say, tribal language, tribal dialect? You use, or your parents know?
Yeah, I don't speak anything else besides French and English. But my parents, they speak so many languages. More than my mom. Dang. Yeah, she speaks like 4 different languages. Obviously French, English, yeah. But then after, it's all over the place when it comes to languages with her. Because whenever she talks to family members on the phone, I'm like, what are you speaking?
Chinese,
it's all
Japanese?
over the place, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's just languages all over my household.
This is all about the languages, but this is just the beginning, like an intro for the case of your family, of your background, your roots. It is like the fascinating story. It is like, it's more like colorful than we have here in Poland. Most of us, majority of us Polish people. Your story is full of, as I said, colorful aspects. Congo. In this story, there are countries like Congo, South Africa, Canada, but also the United States of America. Which of this is number first? Which of these, when you think about yourself, you would pick number 1 in your mind?
I mean, I feel like South Africa, since I was born there, it's beautiful. It's where I was like, how I was grown or how I was molded into a person was kind of like my transition from South Africa to Canada, but I'll always put South Africa number 1 because that's just where I'm from. It's where I was born, Canada is a close second, though, because definitely, you know, everything I learned was Canada initially when I moved up and grew up.
Your current passport is Canadian. But when somebody would ask you not where were you born or who are you, but what's your nationality, what would you say?
South
what would you
African.
reply? South African. South African.
Straight up, South African, yeah.
Okay. But the story began in Congo when your mother comes from and your father, both of them.
Yeah, both.
But they didn't meet in Congo.
No, they met in the air.
That's nice.
They met, so they both played professionally basketball.
Yeah.
My dad grew up in Belgium, so it was like he went to boarding school, he went to high school, all that he went in Belgium, you know, from a young age. My mom grew up in Congo since she was a kid, so it was like they met through a plane or something. Like they somehow ended up in the same airport, same bus, or some weird interaction.
Started to talk.
Yeah, and I think he noticed her, and he was like, "Yeah, I gotta get on that," you know.
Okay, and flirted a little bit.
And yeah, from there it was just like he pursued her. He went back to Congo to even see her in her family home, all that. He kind of pursued her the whole way, so it was like.
So he could just fall in love.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely.
Okay, so Congo isn't the country in your story. This is the country of the story of your parents. Why did they move to South Africa? After they quit playing basketball.
Yeah. My dad's a doctor as well.
Nice.
So
surgeon.
Yeah. Emergency surgeon. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think he had better opportunities in South Africa. You know, higher pay, higher salary and all that. And I guess it was just better, like, living situation, too. They wanted to raise their kids there. I have 2 older sisters, well, 3, but 2 that, you know, I grew up with my whole life. And one of them was born in Congo. The eldest, she was born in Congo. And then me and my sister, my middle sister, we were born in South Africa. So it was like, I think they just want a better living situation.
Okay.
And yeah, just switch up the vibe, so.
And how long did they live there? Because eventually you landed in Canada right now and they're living there, right?
Before I was born, I think a year? No. My bad, my math, all types are wrong. Like 5, 6 years, I think they lived there before I was born. And then from when I was born to like 10 years old is when we moved to Canada.
To Toronto.
Yeah.
What was the reason of also some kind of better life opportunities, or?
Yeah, in a sense. I think just wanted better opportunities, just wanted new places. The thing about us is that, like, my family loves to explore. Not explore, but like in a way move and go to different...
open for new challenges.
Open for new challenges, exactly. Yeah. So it's like they would always take the opportunity to go to new places that, like, some of my other family members have just never been, and kind of just tell them, like, yo, this place is cool, this place is not, you know, like.
So they didn't have to convince you a little bit that you need to leave everything you know, everybody you know?
I think I was just so young that it was more harder. 10 is pretty.
It's not young, not old, right? Something in between.
You know, I think it's different in South Africa. I feel like 10 years old, you're still like, not in a shell, like, how do I explain this? I feel like in Canada and America, and maybe even in Poland, it's like when you're 10 years old, you're a little more grown. Whereas in South Africa, it's more like you're still in your shell a little bit more.
Yeah.
And
so you just do what your parents want you to do, right?
Exactly. Or maybe that's just how I was raised. I don't know. But it was definitely harder for my sisters because they were much older. Yeah, they were in high school, had way more friends and stuff like that they had to leave behind. So that was probably much harder for them than it was for me. So
they worried a little bit about them, not about. What about Nick? Okay, he will do.
He will chill. Yeah, he will
chill.
He will do whatever he needs to do. Yeah.
And you felt comfortably in Canada automatically. You know, being a person who is open for new challenges, growing up in a family which is open for new opportunities. Did you chill quickly?
So the thing about me is I'm good at code switching, you know? I'm good at like getting into the groove of things. Like getting into, if I'm in a new situation, I'm good at like adapting to it, sorry. And I feel like from my move from South Africa to Canada, it was like the biggest issue or the biggest change I had to do was my accent. Because it was more like I had a very strong South African accent, and the kids there just never heard that. So, and you know, as like kids, how they are with new things. So it was like, at first I wasn't too comfortable. You know, it was hard for me to adapt.
Outsider in a group?
Yeah, my first year. I'm good at making friends, so it was like it wasn't in that sense. It was more like just I was different in a sense. And I was from a different area, so it's just like, to adapt was a little hard for me at first. But I think after like a year or two, it kind of just picked up, and then from there it was smooth, yeah. So,
the transition from Canada to the States, it wasn't a transition at all, I think. It was just moving for another place. So it was without any problems for you.
Yeah, not really, not for me. I don't think for my sisters either, yeah.
And your parents now?
A little bit.
Because that was the moment you split up with your family. You were living alone there in Little Rock, in Arkansas?
Yeah, in Arkansas, yeah. When I was 15, turning 16, I moved out the house. I had basketball opportunities to play in prep. So, yeah, I had to grow up kind of fast.
So it was the moment you started living separately. Okay. So what kind of situation was for your parents? Did they have any problems with it, that you will be living individually?
No, they were very open-minded, you know. That's why I was always happy about my parents. They were always very like up to new challenges, and just like in their situation, they like moving around and exploring new things and finding better opportunities. And I feel like they instilled that in me as well, where they were like, you know, you have opportunity to play basketball, get seen by people, and you know, the American scene was much bigger than the Canadian scene at the time. So it was like, I'm going to America to play basketball. So they're like, yeah, all for it, you know, you're hooping here, why not hoop over there, show your talents. So I feel like they were very open-minded. Obviously, they were on my bumper every single day that I was over there. They were calling me constantly, but initially they were very good with it. Like, they were just like, yeah, go spread your wings, explore America, explore the basketball there and stuff like that.
So this moving from place to another, it was like nothing, like it was like a piece of cake for you, for your family, like South Africa, Canada, Arkansas, Chicago in the NCAA at college. But that was the moment which came in your life that you had to think about completely new environment, completely new circumstances, Europe. That was it a pretty tougher situation, or it was also like, okay, I travel a lot, I change places, okay, let's do this? Or maybe there were some regrets in your mind that I were thinking about the NBA, I were thinking about staying here in G League or somewhere.
No, just like you said, as a kid, it's instilled in me, where it's like, try and see the opportunities wherever you need to, you know? I played 1 year in the G, so it was like, I seen how the G was, and I seen how the situations are over there. So it was like, I kind of needed to see a new scene, and I felt like Europe was the perfect opportunity, you know, because it was, my dad is a huge advocate for European basketball.
Playing in Belgium, obviously,
played in Belgium, so he obviously told me, or like showed me European basketball beforehand, like for
advantages
a long time. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly, for a long time. Since I was a kid learning how to play basketball, he was always like, look at Tony Kukoc, look at, you know.
So it was I'm a little bit surprised you know the name. Okay, he's from Chicago. He was playing for Chicago, obviously. Yeah. I'm a little surprised, okay.
But yeah, he used to obviously just show me games of a lot of European basketball, how much, I want to say different, but in a great advantage, you know, like it'll give me more to work with, you know? And he was like, they play hard, so it's an opportunity for you to learn new skills and just carry on, you know, throughout your career.
Okay. I know that when we were about to sign you this last summer 2024, there were some talks between the club, our sports director, and your agent, personally you. I think you were also participating. I know you were talking, the coach was talking with you as well, but also it was some huge talk between the club's representatives and your parents. Confirm that?
Yeah. I go to my parents for a lot of things, you know. They're my rock. They're always there. And it's not just my parents, my sisters as well. Like, whenever I need life advice or any career advice or any advice, I go to my parents. I go to my sisters. They help me throughout everything. So it's just like, you know, whenever it's big decisions, it's always like, let me confirm with them. Not confirm, but like, let me go talk to them, see their point of view, like what do they see, so I can get more, you know, intel and see how other people's minds are working. And yeah, so they're a big part of everything that I do a lot of the way.
I know that it was them who first gave the green light, not even to the club, but first they gave green light to you and to your agent. Okay, let's talk with this club. So it was them who were more like, they were still taking care of their kid right now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
There was also an idea that your father was about to come with you to Europe?
Yeah, so like I said before, my dad used to play professionally, but he also used to coach professionally too. He coached the
rich career, player, coach, doctor.
Yeah. He coached
Credits to
the
him.
Congolese women's national team, so it was like, and the men's team too.
Okay.
So it was just, he's a coach too. So when I was learning basketball, he was the one that was taking up the ropes and showing me everything that I know. And every situation where it came to basketball and like stuff like that, he always used to want to come see the practice, come see how it is, and he would just be there to know how his son is adjusting, you know. But yeah, it was pretty much the same here.
I was talking about the idea of, you know, him joining you in this beginning of the, let's say, Polish episode in a career.
Yeah.
Why eventually he stayed in Canada?
I feel like it was just like timing. It's not really anything big. It was kind of just timing. We couldn't really find a situation for him to pull up. He was busy at home, and the season was kind of just ramping up. So it was just like.
Okay, I was thinking more like because I didn't know I didn't know the details of the situation, but I was thinking like maybe because South Africa, Canada, USA, it's like the same cultural background. So maybe, you know, Poland is completely different from what you already experienced, and, you know, maybe they could be a little bit afraid of what kind of circumstances you are getting in.
No, I don't think they're not. They know that it's just like, it's a new place, it's a new opportunity, so it's just like, it's not really in the aspect of that they want to see where I'm going to be at, and they're like, make sure that you're safe there. It's always try and adjust to wherever you are. So
there are two kind of, let's say, procedures, processes. The first situation is when a player decides where he wants to go, when he wants to play, like, and says to his agent, like, throw me to Spain, let's go to Italy or something like this. But the opposite situation is where the agent or agency says to the player, hey, good idea will be Poland this year for you, because the level is okay. It is something between, let's say, Latvia and Spain. You need a step in between. There are two situations. Which situation was more suitable for you last summer?
So for my situation, it was more like, we need to get you stronger. We need to get you playing a lot and playing hard and first in competition where it's like they're going to, how do you say it in English? Bousculer. They're gonna hit you. So it's like, I think that was kind of the idea of where they were aiming to send me, my agency. And they were like, we need a place where
it was more like them sending you somewhere to Europe?
Yeah, it was more like, not Europe. I told them that I initially would want to go, but they were the ones that suggested, like nitty-gritty places where it's like you're going to learn to really play hard, you know, instead of just, you know, how you normally play, you just run up and down real fast. You're first one down, first one up. Nah, you have to think more whatever. You have to think more. And you have to just play harder and stronger and not just out-hustle the guy, also outsmart him, because you're not always going to be the bigger guy. So it's just like, it's a lot of, he was saying, or they were saying it's a lot of situations where it's like it could expand my game. And so, yeah, that was kind of...
I know there were a few offers you were considering, not only from Anvil. There were some offer from Greek club, something from the Middle East also. And so, you remember, anything from the last decision, the last of the last part of, the deciding process, decisive process, how it looked like that? So you said them, okay, let's go to Poland, or?
Yeah, it was more like, talked with my family.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and we kind of all just had a joint conversation about like, yeah, let's do it.
And was it like, let's go to Poland, I need to Google it, where it is?
Yeah.
A little bit?
Yeah, I definitely Googled. No. I knew about Poland from the start, yeah. I'm just saying, like, with Slavic in general, it's like, let me Google, let me see where.
Yes, definitely. We are not the capital, we are not a big city. Yeah. What did you Google?
What's up?
Remember?
At first, I Googled top 10 places in Poland. And then I did all the with Slavic. I did everything YouTube with Slavic, Google Images, and just like TikTok.
Playing pro, your father had any opportunity to play in Poland or against Polish clubs? Anything about Poland in his life?
It was, no.
Not really?
Not really.
So he couldn't tell you anything about the country?
No.
Okay, and you're landing in Poland, in Warsaw. Philip takes you from the airport. You're getting here to the city. A couple of days pass, and what's your thoughts?
When I landed, I was exhausted.
Okay, so let's move to a couple of days later.
Yeah, I was gonna say
the jet lag is over. The first practices have started. What's your thoughts?
Well, I had a team, or Iman. I played with him in CBL, and so we texted beforehand before I got here. When I signed initially, I think DJ also reached out to me first, and they already kind of gave me the spiel. They gave me how it would be, and from there I kind of just took it. I feel like it's exactly how they said it was. It was like, coach is gonna be on you, but he's gonna want to make you better, So I kind of had the idea initially. So especially as days went by, they were still texting me like how practice is going, like this is what happened in practice, this is how it's gonna be. And I feel like that kind of helped a lot. It was easier for me to adapt because I kind of knew what I was going into, and so just getting thrown into the fire and being like, let me just adjust like this, and then not really being able to adjust quickly. But yeah, they kind of just always hit me up after every practice, especially when I was here and not practicing first. They were the first people to really tell me what was up. Okay,
and when it comes to this background, let's say cultural differences, was anything which did anything surprise you, or it was like, wow, I would never thought that something like this can happen?
Are we talking about basketball?
No. Anything which comes to your mind right now. Can be living here, can be meeting people, can be experiencing life, eating food, anything.
Honestly, the fans, it's real cool. They're loud, they're all over the place. It's like, it's a great environment. I played in the G, so it was like, when I played there, fans didn't really pop out, or when they did, they were too cool for school, is what we used to say in our club. It's like they didn't
Once
really.
again, could you repeat that?
Too cool for school.
Too cool for school, I understand, but I understand it literally. What is the expression?
It kind of just means like
they're silent.
They weren't
silent.
like, even if it was a full house, it wasn't really.
So they
loud.
are more observers, not supporters.
Exactly.
Okay.
They were more like calm down, backed up a little bit. If it's a cool play, then they will shout a little bit, but then after it was like back to cordial. Whereas here, it's like hitting a layup, you still hear people buzzing the gym. So I feel like that kind of motivates me, like throughout these games and stuff like that, especially whenever something happens, whether it's good or bad, it's always like the fans are always there rocking the gym, like regardless. So I think that was the first thing that really hit me when we started playing, obviously. Other than that, yeah, it was kind of just adaptation. The practices were different. European basketball is different. Coach told me before I signed, he's like, the thing that you need to know is that you need to be open to learning, because it's a huge learning process. And I kind of took that.
But this is the aim you had it coming here to Europe, just for learning process.
Yeah, he said it's a huge learning process, so obviously it helped me out a lot. I'm glad that I always had these tips and tricks before I got here from like so many different people, where it's like my brain was more open-minded to doing the things that people are telling me, where it's like, whether it was like, if they didn't, I would kind of be like I said before, thrown into the fire, and I would be kind of like, oh snap, there's so much going on. But then how people were helping me out beforehand kind of helped me on my adjustment to here.
The adaptation to European basketball probably will be like a process, maybe even for another season or a couple of. The adaptation of living in Europe is over? The adaptation of living in Europe is over for you?
Yeah, I feel like I can get my way around. yeah.
Is it anything you can't eat, for example, when it comes to Polish?
I can't.
Cuisine? You can't, or you didn't didn't have courage to try.
Oh no!
If I'm not mistaken, I think on our Christmas Eve dinner you ate everything what was on the table.
Everything. Yeah,
even like a jelly.
Exactly. Yeah. They made me try this.
To się po polsku mówi, let me explain in Polish, to się po polsku mówi nóżki w galarecie prawdopodobnie. Nikt nie miał z tym żadnego problemu. A my powiedzieliśmy, że to są polskie owoce morza. We told you that this jelly with, I don't know even how to say in English, what was inside, some kind of meat.
Yeah, it was like some meat.
But I know that somebody told you that it is like Polish seafood, right? It isn't.
It was, I know. I figured after. It was actually Coach. It was, he was like, yeah, go ahead, try that. It's probably good. Like, I know it's good. I was like, all right, cool. I just like trying food, so there's not really any food that I wouldn't try. I know culturally everyone's different, so it's like, I want to taste everything. I want to, I don't like being closed-minded. I want to try everything, especially in new environments where it's like, not just the food, just how they live, how they move. I want to also try different things. If they have something specific that they do that we don't do, I would love to try that too. So.
Did you need any serious help from anybody being here in Poland?
Oh yeah, Philip.
A lot of times?
Yeah, Philip that's guardian angel right there. He helped me.
The most valuable. Not player, person in the club, right?
Player, person, everything, Philip,
credit. Filip, pozdrawiamy cię serdecznie.
Philip really helped me through a lot.
What kind of situations? Or maybe, no, I will ask some other way. How often did you need his help at the beginning?
In the beginning?
Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
Once a day? Couple of days?
Yeah, once, twice, sometimes.
What kind of situations?
It was more like language stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so grocery shopping for one. When I went to Auchan and stuff like that, I just didn't know what I was looking at half the time. Like I knew the food and I knew obviously the idea of how everything looks, but finding it when it's really packaged, like what it is and stuff like that. I didn't have my cell service yet, so I didn't have Wi-Fi, I didn't have any data.
So the early beginning, right?
Yeah, I couldn't use any translator or anything. And when I asked around, people kind of looked at me like, what is he asking? You know what I mean? So it was like, I was so glad I was able to have Philip. There was like days I would be like, yo, Philip, when are you going grocery shopping? So I could come with you and you could just help me out. It's like, yeah, I got you. So yeah, that's a big one, grocery shopping. But even like the small minor things.
What kind?
There was like a water valve thing.
Why?
He's an engineer too, apparently. Like he does everything. So there was a water valve problem. Like in my house, it was the dishwasher wasn't working and something like the sink or something wasn't working. Like no water was coming out.
So some plumbing issues.
Some plumbing stuff. And I was like, yo, Philip, can we call the landlord? And he's like, no, I'm out here. I'm like 5 minutes away. I was like, okay, pull up, sure. And he pulled up and it was kind of...
Repaired?
Yeah, he kind of just fixed it.
With some kind of tools or what? By his hands?
He just, I don't know, he just knew what to do, kind of. He was like, yeah, it's working now. So I was like, oh,
you know how he did it? Because it's a couple of years experience with foreign players.
Yeah, I assumed, for sure.
I know this, Philip got interviewed about some kind of outside journalist a couple of weeks ago, and he revealed some story that was a player who asked for help because he lost his keys in the gap between the doors and the elevator.
Yeah.
Who was it? That guy?
I was the culprit. It was we came back from a late game, like it was an away game. We landed, I don't even know, it was like 11 o'clock we landed. And from the airport to here, it was a whole nother hour drive. So we got here at like 1 basically. And I drove back, I was tired, drove back. I think I started playing with my keys a little bit. Like I was waiting for the elevator. I was like, yo, stay awake. So I was just playing with my keys, my house keys, obviously. Playing with them. Elevator open. I thought it was cool. You know, I had them in my hand. I'm ready to walk in. And then, boom, just fumble. I don't know what happened. My fingers were hurting or something. I don't know. And it just fumbled down into the low crevice. Of course, it didn't even like bounce or anything. I couldn't kick it. It just went straight down.
It was like a swoosh.
It was just like a swoosh. Yeah, exactly. I was like, dang. So I was kind of stuck there. It was already late and I was tired. I was like, oh my God. Of course, knowing my luck, something like this would happen. I'm a clumsy person, so stuff like this happened, but that was so convenient. It was annoying. So first person I called, I was like, yo, Philip, is the guy like awake so I can get a new key? He was like, yeah, it's like 1 o'clock. I know he's awake. No one's gonna reply. So I was like, oh my goodness, well, I'm gonna just chill here. He's like, no, I got you. There's probably a hotel open. We'll settle you in.
For the night, right?
Yeah, for the night. And it was real quick. It was like, he was like, yeah, I'm like 20 minutes out, but I'll be there. And I was like, cool. Pulled up in 10. I don't know. He teleports or something. And we kind of just figured out our way from there.
So he's like a 24 hours emergency.
Yeah, for real.
But actually everyone hates, being called like 2, 3 a.m. I was sharing a room on away games when I was traveling with a team on the bus a couple of years ago, and I remember calls at 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
Yeah.
It was Ricky Lido, the American player. Maybe you are familiar with the name. A little NBA, but European career. He liked to call him like 2, 3, and Philip was upset.
Yeah,
and there were situations he didn't pick up a phone.
Yeah,
like, come on.
Which makes sense. Yeah,
because the game is tomorrow, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, not even tomorrow, today.
Exactly.
It happened.
No, I try not to call him where it's like sleeping hours or I know he's chilling, but when it's like, midday or something, I always try to hit Philip up over something that happened. If it's big enough that I can't handle it alone or I need help translating or getting help from other Polish people, I'll ask Philip first. So.
But the number of calls right now got decreased?
Yeah, a lot more.
Luckily.
A lot more. I try my best not to hit him up unless I really need him, because I have my cell service now. I have my car. I have everything settled, kind of. So it's like, let me leave Philip alone. I already know he has so much on his mind and so much work to do that I'll just try my best not to bother him.
Yeah. Nick, did you text a little bit with Khalif Young before you signed a deal?
Yeah, I actually played with him.
I know that.
Summer.
I know that.
Yeah.
He was playing here last season.
Yeah, exactly.
You played together. So did you talk to him personally or text a bit or?
So first, I talked to him personally because in Toronto, where I was playing at was so much further away from my house. So I didn't have any of my car. I didn't have anything. And he was kind of the one that was driving me to practice because we lived almost next to each other. He lived at like a building next to my apartment. So it was like, it was perfect. So as those drives went by, even to like games and stuff, he would tell me like, I used to ask him like, how's European basketball? How was it? How do you like it? And he used to tell me like straight up how it is, how he played there, his experience. Anvil was the first thing he told me because obviously he played there just last year. So whenever I asked him about it, he was like, yeah, this is cool, that's it. And especially when I signed, he texted me like, yo, congrats, this is what to expect. Khalif was a huge help for me initially. Like, he helped me out through that journey and the European pick and stuff like that. So
okay, me and Kamil Łączyński had a talk live a couple of days ago here, and Kamil was asked about who is better pick and roll finisher with the dunk, Khalif Young or Nick Ongenda. Do you want to know who he picked?
I do.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
It was like a funny talk. He said that Khalif is more experienced because of his couple of years. He's older than you, so because of these years playing in European style, he can fit a little bit better. Also, it was because he's left-handed, so the geometry on the floor could work a little bit better with Kamil. But he said that you're flying high, and there is space for working on it.
All right. I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna remember that, Kat.
No, it was positive. That is the most. That is the part of the game you like the most? Dunking, finishing pick and rolls, or maybe shot blocking, rejecting?
Yeah. Identity crisis. It's both.
Come on, let's pick one. Let's put it in the hierarchy.
Obviously, like blocking kind of opened the way for me. Since I was a kid, I was blocking people. So that was kind of my first like indication that basketball is the way. Like, I was averaging 10 blocks a game in high school, So it was like, I think blocking was kind of my first love. But then I remember EYBL, it was like Nike circuit for the summer. I had a really good point guard. And that was the first time I was like, wow, this is easy. The game's easy because he just used to throw it right up. Like, he knew exactly how to throw it. And so that's why I'm saying it was like an identity crisis, because when I did have someone that just knew how to throw it, it was like the game changed because I would block shots here, but then after over here, it's like, so it was kind of, I don't know, it's a race, but yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like blocking.
So would you like to this shot rejection be like trademark?
Yeah.
It would be nice, right?
Yeah, it would be nice.
Remember what did I ask you about after the game against, it was the game in Ostrów, Wielkopolski. Closed ending. We won by 2 or 3 points. Remember our talk when we were, it was like a photo session for the calendar. Remember our talk?
Yeah,
what did you promise me?
To hold it. What was it?
Not to send the ball into the tribune, but to hold it like Wembanyama.
Yeah.
And I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting.
Come. There's
right now, from this moment on, everyone is waiting right now.
All right. This time, it's crazy because I think I be trying it in the game, But
obviously, you don't think about it during the game. You do it automatically, right?
But there's sometimes where it's like, oh, the layup he's about to do, I could just grab this. So, like, there's times where I'm like, yo, I could do that. I don't know, but I just like the sensation of just swatting it and getting it over and done with. And you know that little break you have when they have to inbound the ball? So it's like, let me get a little breather, too. But, yeah, no, I definitely think about it. I'll get it done eventually.
The final thing
come
is,
soon.
in the statistics, what would it be? Block or steal?
Or rebound, or steal, yeah.
We need to ask our statistics guy.
Yeah, facts.
Or maybe both. No, can't be both.
I hope it's both, and I will do it every time.
It's okay, so you need to do it first, and then we'll
exactly,
ask.
Right,
maybe
exactly.
they even won't know about it, and they will need to think, or they need to maybe ask somebody. Nick, the last question. The conversation is pretty smooth. Thank you for it. But the last question is about your developing as a player here. You already shared some details about it, about this process. The question is because also you chose Anvil because it is like the step in between for your current skills and the future potential. You will burst in the future for sure, and we are keeping fingers crossed for you, for your career in the future. I know you're still thinking and dreaming about the NBA, so really keeping fingers crossed for the future. But also you chose Anvil because it is like a club you can make a lot of steps in, let's say, one season, maybe something more, but we'll see in the future. It was like something like this?
Yeah, definitely. Kind of got it down packed.
Because you know how it is. Sometimes you bring players which are already set, who are already, you know what they can do. They are experienced, they are mature. But sometimes you are hiring players who can how to say in English, blossom like a flower, and I think you are a good example of it.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I feel like Anvil is gonna help me throughout my whole career. Like just this year alone, as the games we played, I feel like I improved so much. I'm getting better each day. Practice makes me harder, makes me better. Coach just helped me implement like my daily routine even more now, because it was like I wanted to get in, I wanted to not, like I wanted a balance, but he really helped me like open my eyes to even more extra work, because I do the extra work, but then there's even more that I could do. And he's like, so like you said, I feel like he's helping me blossom even more, and Anvil is a testament to that, obviously, because it's here, it's where I am. And yeah, it's just trying to get better, man. That's end goal. It's always just get better. Strive for the best. Strive for greatness, man.
Road to the greatness.
Yeah, exactly.
For both the club and for the player.
Exactly.
Wish you all the best. Thank you for your time.
Appreciate you.
What? See you soon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dziękuję bardzo.
Dziękuję.
Bardzo ładnie.
Dziękuję.